not looking to get high as a kite. In fact, whatever I'm doing, I probably shouldn't be doing alone. I basically do the Ouija board inside my head. I go and I get what I need. Think about it. What I'm going to tell you now has to do with the two cubes that started this game. The way we get two cubes, it starts at 1 and it has 6 on the other side. Their power is 7. A to the letter L, which is I have a corner. 12. The reason it's 12, one of them is on the bottom. The other one is on the top. If you go one against the other, instead of having actually 6, you only got 5. And 2 dice cubes, you only got 10. There's always one pointing up, even if it's you. Turns around like this, you're still connected to the sky. Inside the earth. Even if it turns like this, right? It's just like Rubik's Cube inside the earth. Same thing, same thing. This is what I want to talk about. I'm not going to do the whole cycle because it's too long, so I shorten it. But an actual 360 turnaround is 360 degrees. But that's not exactly how we can do it here where we're living. We have to combine it into an S, and then create the other one as an S. Otherwise, we can never hook up and have stability. Now, we have, in a period of 10 years, of 364 days a year, in 10 years, we do not account for 12.5 days. If we go another 9 years, in which we don't count the leap year, 1.25 days a year, 1.25 times 9 is 9, and 0.25, 9 quarters, 225. Nine plus 225 is 11 and a quarter. I just have to mark something down that I missed marking down. So we're at 11 and a quarter. What that actually stands for, if you really want to look at it, is K, which is inside the 2 dice now. Don't forget, we're not looking at the minuses, we're looking at the pluses. And the minuses, right now we're in the plus. So we have K. 0.25 is only 1 quarter. If you put 2 K's together, it will create a square or diamond-like plate, and it will show you a fork and a knife on each side. That fork and knife is the spirit sticks that keeps us balanced in between. Now, if we add up the 11.25, 9 years, and the 10 years, 12.5, we end up with 23.75. Now, 23.75 says, number 23 is creation, okay, of the first world, in which why you go 23 is because it's saying 2 and 3 on the left, 4 is on the right. But on the right, okay, is 2, 4, 6, and 8. So you play 2 corner, 2 corner, 2 corner. It's 3 different ways, 3 different looks on the dice. It's the way it's put together. It's all in the beginning, don't forget. The 3 quarters on the other side is because we're the mug and dove it, and we're up against the stop sign. Stop sign's got 4 lines for a star, we got 3. Our other star is right out of our head. 23.75. When you add together 23 and 75, you get 98. 9 times 8 is 72. 2 plus 7 is the 9 birth in the B world, B and G, the Bee Gees. '98 is the last place you can go. Before, if you went to 99, which is Jupiter, it reflects to the 1010 world as 1919, which is the one spirit of birth and the one spirit of birth. You can't go to other levels. If you say it's 19 years, you have to go to 18. And then find out how you're going to work yourself up. And don't forget, 0.25 out of our brain of who we are is on the other side of the board. We're always balancing off our mind. Before you even start, it's God. He's 1/4 of the cards. 4 cards, 4 suits. One is man the way he is, the other is the diamond. There's always one down, one up. The clock's going both ways. It always has to be at a specific place all the time. But it does change by the way man acts. Oh yeah, we're connected to the planets, all right. Mars, Martians, don't hear any ET in there. All I hear is empty. The letter M and the letter T. Say them together, you got empty. I guess it's an empty can. The old Star Wars planet. Sat up there, that was the old world. So we got Rover the dog over there right now trying to take care of it. But let me get back to these moons, okay? Some gentleman mentioned the cycle of the moons is 19 years. Well, if you're connected to Jupiter with 3 strands, then Jupiter's set and turnage has to be that. And the other side has to be that. Now, Jupiter's bigger, so before Jupiter turns around and goes around, how much actual time is it? Well, there's more than one porthole. Since there are 8 lines in Jupiter, the stop sign, even though we connect 3, we are all the same thing if you take the Mercedes sign and use that 120 degrees. And you got 3 open vowels. You're either in A, B, or C. If you're in B, you're next to C, which is, you're never far, you're always connected. Now you break it down and cut it down. 8 times 45 is 360. There's 8 divisions. The center don't count. So where the spirit goes, the power, the energy. Passage. '98 is all you can do on a football field if the referee is going to get between you and the opposition in order to place the ball. 49 from one side, 49 from the other side. 7 by 7, 49. 2 worlds of 7, 2 Magen Davids. Oh, but there's more than that, don't you worry. The matrix is made up with Magen Davids. Jews, as the word Jews, 1551. A and E, E and A, Omega. You can't go any further or better than that. A and E. Even if you picked A and F is what you created by E. Inside C over towards the gates of God. '9849. So what we actually do when you count these 19 years, you have to go 18 years. 6, 6, 6. 6 each. So this is what I did. 19 years times 2 for our reflection, our face, the book of life, the scrolls, the casseroles. The 19th letter is the S. If we have 3 19s, we have 57, and we have Heinz 57. 2 19s is 38. If you have pairs of 38, and 38 would be 4 S's. And 38 would be 6 S's. And E would equal to 114. 114, this means the 3 set up of the 8 heaven. Plugging up all the pipes. 38, 3 by 8 is 24x. 3 and 8 is 1135. 1, 3, and 5, that's all it is. The 1 is in the 3 as it is in 5, and there is no spirit in the dice after that. It's 1, 3, and 5. A, C, and E in letters. 135 degrees right in the 9 hole for a pregnancy. Double 135 reflection is 27, add 3 for creation, 273, 39 weeks. And you're having a baby. So we're going to get back to 38. And I looked at it. And I looked at it. And I'm thinking, because I'm still thinking. So give me a second, I'm going to be taking a little break. But there's nobody here, and I'm like rushing through it. Just blow out the candle. Now in 19 years, in 19 years, 10 years, there were 130 moons. 9 years, there were 117 moons. 11-7, craps, who's throwing the dice? Maybe the real man's going to slip another ace from the ass from someone who just came up because it's his mind that he takes care of. The devil takes care of your mind. Spanish train, the devil's taking care of your mind. He always gets you if you don't do right. When you're a fool, he's always beating the Lord. And it shows he's still playing because we're still playing. So we have 117 and we have 130 is 247. 247. I'm going to show you what this is after. 247 means 47 and 47 is 94. 9 and 4 is the birth. The 4 is the mind, Mars. The birth connects to Mars upon birth. At the same time, the body is taken out from there by the 7th gate and put into the 8th heaven. Moving over 1 to the right, because that's what one of the songs says. $247. Whoop! Oh no. $247 is 94. Now I'm stuck on something, you see, because if you take 47 and turn it around, it's 74 equals 121. 24 is the X, 7 is the G. 247 actually says 5 and 6 is between 4 and 7, and 3 is between 2 and 4, which means creation is in between the mind and the 7th gate. Because when you look at your telephone, there's 3 sides and 3 levels to those numbers. Each side, each level means something different. The corners 1, 3, 7, and 9 are red. 2, 4, 6, and 8 are black. So now what I'm going to be counting here is, I need to come up with a count of the number of moons. 216 moons. Let's see. 10 years, because I'm trying to, a different, 10 years, because I have a calculation over here. Okay. 3 by 5, 38. No, it's not working out. Something's not working. Something's not working. But what does work is after 57 years, let me get the calculator right here. After 57 years times 13 equals, okay, now listen to this. After 57 years, boy, I'm out to lunch, right? After 57 years, the moons will be 741 moons, not counting the extra days. I don't want to count them yet, okay? Because we can use those extra days to fill a gap, just like they do in our leap year, short term. I want to do this over 1,000 years. So we have to find a way, a spreadsheet. So 741 in your telephone is a straight line spirit. And it also brings everything together. If I can just show you how. Just want to see, where's my... Wow, I got 100 million dice, and I can't find one. Oh, here it is. Oh, found two of them. See this dice cube over here? Okay? If I have it this way, that's our world. Okay? The other world that runs down has to stop. It has to go this way because it's going around following our worlds, but we're this way because we get the energy from the top and we're always pushing together our wall. Open wall, shut wall. When the numbers are like this, from down here, if I mark 741 and I put it up here, although the numbers really would change, they would actually be still 741. Bringing, after 57 years, the moons back to where it all began. Why? Because a dice cube has 1 on 6 on it equals to the total maximum of 7. And the center between 4 and 7 is 5 and 6, 11. And between 1 and 4 is 2 and 3, 5, equaling to 16. 1 and 6 is 7. And only 1, 4, and 7 can do this calculation. It's not me. It's the numbers that they gave us, the calculations. Now, if you wanted to talk about a birth in this world, the birth in this world is not 10 moons, but it is 10 moons because of the ovulation cycle. But it shows up with 9 moons and 21 days. 10 moons is 280 days, and the cycle is into 1. When you get into a cycle, you must be 1.5 days before, or something like that. And the reason for that is for the beginning of the full moon, and it's just going out of the full moon. The 9 months and 21 days, all it's doing is backing up 1 week from 280. You need some change in your pocket to get exact, right? But when it's exact, it's part of creation. One side, showing you both sides equally. 1, 2, or 3 numbers. This would equal to 273 days for a birth, which would equal to 39 weeks. 3, 3, and 3. The 21 days is 777. It's the letter U. If you add up 1 to 6 on this dice, it equals 21. Once you get to 21, you have to add the 6. It goes from 0, omega, which is 15, add the 6, it makes 21. 2 and 1 is 3 creation. Now we're on Kentucky and Monopoly. Not sure where I should take this more than we are coming into the time of that 57th year. But it's more than that. Because when 57 goes on top, that's one thing. When 74 goes on top, it's one thing. When it goes to the side, and it matches up with you, and the bottom matches up with you, only because of the moon, you know. And there's a lot more energy and a lot more things that can happen. There's more space, more working energy. Not only that, basically, when I looked down the street today, there was a deviation. The deviation, it said, regardless of which road you take, we are all in for a conscience change. I never spoke like this before. I never could. I always liked it. But this is not me. This is the me who I thought I was when I was born. But I went away for a long time. It went away so long that now when it came back to make of who I am, everybody looks and goes, you're not being yourself. So I say, what about 30 years ago? Oh, well, that was something else. So we have the birth. We also, okay, that I told you, you remember 247 was the number? How many times was this? 247. Anyways, you got to divide, always go by 19. Why is the S 19? Because the 10th letter is a J. The 9th letter is the I, and it's your birth. Once you have the J, and you put your I, you have a JI. 10, 19. 1 and 9 is 10 birth. But in the third dice explains it all, 3 and 6. But that's only creation of 6. The 247, and no one is looking, don't you see? When you multiply it, it says 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Three times 9 is 27. 3 by 5 is 15. 1 and 2, 7. 3 by 2 is 6, 7. Number of moons, a different cycle. 247 plus 12. Why 12? Because when you have a 12, it means you've created one on one side and one on the other side. And you get the half day, you get the half day, 12 o'clock, because you split them up. The 2 dice add to 12. As you go higher in dice, you've got to add what was below and before. Because it's written down in the books as it's been used, and how it was used, or how it's going to be used. You see, the first moon, on this dice, you get the 21, right? The moon actually has to be stopping at 19, because at 20, you're on the start of the next corner, 10, 10. When you're at 19, you're still in one line. When you take 21, you're at the end. 22 is life, and it tells a different story. Check on the roulette wheel. 22 starts the corner after 23 and 24. "20" is T, transfer. U is you. TU, it says two in French. It means of you, you. But you can't go 19, 20, 21 because you went around the corner, so you have to stay at 19. And once the J is out, the J is the 10th letter. The J speaks for Omega. Because the 10th letter, 1 says A, but the O says A and E. 1, 1, letter K, K-E, second level, K-N, Ken. Ken and Barbie coming into this world, the chicken. In a pregnancy, there are 78 weekends, split up as 39 and 39. 39 Sunday, 39 Saturday. 13, 13, 13. 7 and 8 is the GH letter. It equals 15 Omega in the God's heaven, the gates of heaven, 7 and 8. There are 195 days of your pregnancy. 195. 1 to 5 is the same thing as 5 to 9. On just the other side. 9 is the birth. 5 is the entrance. 9 by 5 is 45. Plus the 14 equals 59. That's where I got this 259 over here. I got that 259 because of the number of days. So what does all this mean? It's the way it works. Because if you take away 78 weekends from the 195, you end up with 117. 117 is 9 years times 13 moons, and not counting the extra. Because the extra at this time is coming into the next moon phase. And you're pregnant. 117, 11-7, 65, 74, 83, 92. Does not exist. There is no 121 with 1 and 9. Reverse 29, 38, 47, 56. And 56 is the only one that you can use on this dice. It's 11. You put 6 and 5 together. 6 and 5 together. See the way the stick, the way this is going across from this one? Catching it both corners, instead of being wide angle and catching it and not be able to catch it at all. If the 6 went up, it would catch it on one line and that line, and this spirit dot wouldn't be able to connect here nor here. So that's why it's on this angle. A lot of numbers from one cube, eh? You know number 19, if it was moons? And I told you, it's 18, the 19th year is a little screwed up. 9/11. That was the year. Now there's cycles. Since 9/11, this is the 11th year. We're at the other end of the cycle. Do you know why? Because when you show 6 on the other side of the dice, I'll show 1. When you show 5 on the other side of the dice, I'll show 2. But when the 4 corners aren't complete, you count only the center. 2001. 21 on this side. The other side was 65, 56, 121. 11 by 11, 121. 3 years out of 4 years, it's on May 1st. On the 4th year, which is the leap year, in which the month of February is 29 days, in which the April Fool's Day is in April, on April 1st, the 91st day, but now it's the 92nd day because of all this, and everything else is pushed up 1 day. Telling 1/4 of the story. 75% and 25%. The leap year. They do one hole, they fall off 1/4, they fall off 1/4, they fall off 1/4, then God has his triangle, and then he flips it over into a square. Now you got the leap year, because it's all squared off. $117. I'm not going to add that up. Where did I get this number? 195 and 78 equals 273 days, 39 weeks. 39 weeks, 7 days, 273 days. 39. In baseball, when the 7th inning stretch comes, there's 39 outs. That's pretty cool. And they played 7 and 6/2 innings. Hey, matches with the moon. Whoa. Pretty cool, eh? I don't know anything. What do I know? 101 is just a cube. But you know what 101 is? 101 is this one and this one. Because there's a difference of 1. And it's not enough. So you got to separate it. So you go, the 4 is opposite of the 3, and the 3 is opposite of a 4. One time it's a 1, the other time it's a 1. It's 1 in between 1. 3 and 4. Total of 7. Because it's the 3 of creation. They had to bring in the second world of beta. 2 dots and 2 dots. 2 dots and 2 dots. 4, if you ever see number 44, okay, it's 4A and 4B, okay? 4B, okay, are these dots over here. It's the Christ. It makes the Christ, okay? But it's only the one spirit that does it. They put this dice on an angle. How can I do that? They put this dice like this, yeah, like this. It's like that. So now, is the one there, or is the one there? Well, if this was blowing, I now have to switch everything I'm talking about actually in numbers and start going letters and numbers. And I have to find the center. So now all of a sudden I'm playing the musical instruments and I don't even play music. And I'm not going there because I wouldn't be able to open up a book big enough. I've written hundreds of pages in the last couple of weeks. and very, very little in return. Hardly anybody giving me a tick to like a remark. But you know what? The only thing that's a little scary in all that is the only staff I have, okay, is wherever this is coming from. I have to believe in myself and believe in whatever's going on. I had a knock at my door before. No problem, 10 minutes at the door, let them go, that was okay. Work with people, nobody says anything. But the minute they see me on here, oh, what's going on? You in another world. Don't we all want to travel a little bit? Isn't that what some of us are seeking? The understanding of whatever it is about? Because when you take an equation, there's no world basis. All you got is a bull. Once you create the basis, it creates a platform and branches out, and now it means something. It's into a book. You wrote your own book. They say, the hand that rises the highest will never be asked any questions. Because we all look like goofballs going, ooh, 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 ooh. Pick me, pick me. Pick me. Pluto, Mars, Earth. Pick me. Number 3, 4, and 9. Pick me. 349. 49 is eternal. 9 and 4 is a cross connect on your telephone keypad, which is the same connection as having the 7 cross over to the 6. Cross wiring. Now, before I end, I have to figure out how many moons it took to move 741 all the way around. Now don't forget, is upside down good enough? Your calculator's upside down. Phone's right side up. But nowadays, they give you 100 different places here. Isn't that great? They throw 100 things onto my keyboard. Oh, wow. More in-betweens. What's in between 6 and 7? Oh, a whole line and a complete arrow over to the left. We have to cross-connect. You're on your way up. But seriously, if we're going in a straight line, like at the top of our keyboard, the numbers in a row, what's between 6 and 7? 6.5. Now what do you do after 6.5? On one side, where the 7 is, and it's backward, you're going 701. Or 7 or 71, 72, 73, 74. Or you're going 51, 52, 53, 54. What's the difference? 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4. They're the same thing, but if we marked all the same numbers, you'd look at it and you wouldn't understand. It's just a reflection. You're putting a wire in. Once it gets into the machine, if you don't mark it, you don't know what wire it is. Oh shit, it's number 7, eh? But it's going to box number 4. It's still same wire, number 7. So in spirit, it all depends the way the houses of the dice cubes were built. How many years do I have to go back to find the position of 741? It's not going to be that hard. Because we have to just go 8 times whatever it was. So let me go 8 times whatever it was, because 9 is the birth. It's included within. It comes into the heaven. It has to do with all those extra days. So I throw them out, because the moon came out inside of us, the pregnancy. So I throw those extra days away, because it's for all the births on earth. 364. We keep the 364 because the 4 is for the moon. Otherwise, turn it around, it's 360 degrees. So that 1.25, do you know what the 1.25 is? This way, this way, this way. Cross angles to the 5 center. 5 times 5 times 5 equals 125. times 5 is 625, times the 40 and 1 of the game. Because we can't go 40 then 1, we have 2 dice. Or, even if we had 1 dice, we're in the B world. The minimum we can get is 2. The A world, it's 1. So we get 41, and we end up on the Mediterranean in Monopoly. Everybody calls it the Avenue. It sure is the Avenue. All avenues lead to ports. 41 by 625 is 25,625. $741, I was going to calculate for you, times 8 equals 5,928. What this means is when 5 is next to 9, like I said, 1 to 5 and 5 to 9 is the same thing, because the 10-10 world of 1 is 9, the 5-5 world, the 10-10 world of 5 is 5, and the 10-10 world of 9 is 1. 28 is the 2 world of the A heaven, meaning your dot on top of where Venus is and Neptune should be aligned. So right now there should be something going on with Pluto and Jupiter, Venus, Neptune, Pluto, Neptune, 528, center, 8, 5-8, oh my God, 1324. Yeah, wow, that's so cool. That's what it is. That's what it equals. 5,928 moons. That's what it comes out to. So now I'm going to have to do that. But there's got to be something closer to that. And the way I can break this down is by 7 is 49. 49 and 49 is 98 with the 2 yards in between because we're in the 2 world. 1 yard back this way, 1 yard back that way. 9 by 5 is 45. 4 by 5 is 20. 4 and 5 is 9. Now you have 29 and 28. You have everything in here. This is definitely the number. 5928. 5,928 moons divided by 13 equals 456 years. Now, all these are whole numbers. Okay? There's other numbers. How can I explain? When you turn a bottle cap and the lines are cut, when you turn to there, it means you can go down or go up. It's like scratching. It's like doing a radar where it goes around and around and around. $456 years. 4 is a representation. I'm just trying to find out if the cycle is right. 4, 5, and 6 is the complete center line, FED. The Suez Canal, because FED is connected to Israel, big time. It's also a total of the omega eggs, 6 and 4, 6 and 5, all the combinations. 6 and 4 is 10, letter J. Letter J, what is on both sides, is equal to the center. I expanded it and I put it back. So it says JE, which means I. And I stands alone because he's got a leg on the bottom and a leg on the top. But when he turns over, there's somebody underneath your bed and there's somebody over your bed, and we're turning into a new world. 56 plus 1 connects to the moon. The moon is number 57. Did you hear what he talked about in that cassette about the moon? About 19 years? 19 by 3 is 57. Minus 1. It's all about 17, 18, and 19. 16 is the one spirit of 6 and is included inside the 5. The 5 is touching the 6. On the cube, they are together, they are one. They work as 11, you reverse them, it makes 121. 4 by 56 is 224, 22 is light. The angle of the electronic mind. The 6 is not a 6 alone. It was created by 2 and 4. The 2 is up above the supply of our mind. And the 4 is across from 6. 4 and 2 makes the 6. 6 across from 4 is actually only 2. The 5 is in between, so take away that 5 and put a 3 in between that. You have 4, 3, 6. 2 times 36 and 2 times 36, 72, 72. What is 72? It's the roulette wheel. Okay. Twice. One going east-west, one going north-south. So what is the cycle? How many cycles before I get back to the beginning? Because the numbers were right. I did multiply it by the right amount. You've already been born. That quarter is for everyone that's being born. You're born already. Your quarter don't count no more. That quarter of a day doesn't count. They just give you extra time in life for your birth. That's all. That's all the quarter is for the extra extension, for the extra ring on this earth. Before I go, I'm just going to just show you one little thing. See the number 9? Right? But it ain't a 9. If I turn over the card, it becomes a 6. This is the 7 card. See the way it cuts this corner out and this corner out? Remember I told you about the leap year? This one spirit is always going to be over here, but this corner never comes back. That's your birth. It's inside of you. It moves up to here. The razor blade effect. Number 8. Does it look like an 8? It's not an 8. It's a 3. But because it's aligned against the corner of the card, you can't see it. The only time you start seeing things is when you got 1 or 4. But if you would like to see one little thing, I will show you. Just let me write this. See the way it looks like it goes far, 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 far? See it keeps going this? This is the TV. This is number 52. CC, CC. You want to see a 5. You want to see an S. I mean, when the guy said there was 19 years with the moon, you have to remember, anytime you touch that letter S, you got to watch out where you are. It's a snake. It could be a 2. It could be a 5. When you see a V, do you see an RV, angel resident? It'll mean life. But a V next to a man is an M. Because man's the life and the spirit sticks in this world. Man has one on each side. Man is 5 and 2. 7. But the letter M that creates the exact same thing I just told you is worth 1,000 in Roman numerals. 4 pieces to create it. You need to know how to build the dice, and you will see that's the way it came. None of this is me. I'm talking. I'm only telling you what's in the books. I mean, I make mistakes, but it's in the book. It's in the book. I mean, I'm writing the book. Didn't really start off as a joke. It never did, but if I don't joke around, then where would the fun for me be? I like this. I'm learning. Maybe I'll make mistakes. But that's okay. Mistakes are fun. You get to fix it. Oh shit, I got something else to do. Raphael, 7286. Just remember, once you drive a ball into the air in golf, and it lands right on the green, you get to pick it up and place it and touch that ball. It went into the sky, and you touch that ball. You have picked up what might be your first birdie, let alone an eagle. Raphael 7286.